So like I said in my Aaron Rodgers video, this is basically like, I was basically gonna like clutter these all together into one video. The Aaron Rodgers video, and then the Russell Wilson trade, and then how this could possibly affect the Steelers, and also the Carson Wentz trade. And I was pretty much going to put this all into one video, but then I realized, oh shoot, that's going to be like way too long, and I figured it'd be more convenient for you guys if I just had a video on Aaron Rodgers. If you want to watch a video about Aaron Rodgers, you can watch that, and if you want to get a video on the Russell Wilson trade, you can get that too. So this is the video on the Russell Wilson trade. I'll also be talking about the Carson Wentz trade, and how this possibly affects the Steelers in the future. So without further ado, guys, let's get into it. But anyway, so 2 hours after that, what happened? What happened is absolutely crazy. I did not expect this. This was the last thing I expected to happen on planet Earth that day. The last thing. Honestly, it would be more likely that dinosaurs come back alive and rule this Earth. That is more likely than what just happened. Russell Wilson got traded to the Denver Broncos. He got traded to the Denver Broncos. I was like, oh my gosh. And it was 2 hours after the Aaron Rodgers thing. I'm sorry. There were people saying, oh, I think it was Adam Schefter. He's an NFL insider that reports on this stuff. And he was saying that it had absolutely nothing to do with the Aaron Rodgers trade. And like I said prior, Aaron Rodgers the Denver Broncos were chasing Aaron Rodgers. So, I mean, I do think it does have something to do with it. I feel like right after it was announced that Aaron Rodgers was signing with Green Bay, I think then they're like, all right, we're getting Russell. And there's also people saying that, you know, to make a contract like that, to work out a deal with like Russell Wilson like that, that's going to take 2 weeks, bare minimum. And that would make sense, because why all of a sudden in 2 hours, you're just all of a sudden like making a contract like crazy. But no, you're not going to be doing that, something like that. So there's basically rumors that possibly this was already like decided 2 weeks back, possibly. Like Aaron Rodgers had his decision 2 weeks back. So the Denver Broncos, I guess, then started going, okay, we're going to work out something with Russell Wilson possibly. Yeah, so basically they ended up getting Russell Wilson, and that is not a good look. It's not looking too good for the AFC. I mean, that AFC West is absolutely goated. I mean, they have Derek Carr, which is still a semi-good quarterback. I mean, you can't say that he's not. I mean, he's still a semi-good quarterback. You got Justin Herbert, who's probably going to be an absolute star. If I had to guess, and this is obviously too early to guess, I would assume he'd be a future Hall of Famer. And then you got Patrick Mahomes, which is basically at this point guaranteed going to be a future Hall of Famer. And now you got a guaranteed future Hall of Famer, Russell Wilson, that already has a Super Bowl win under his belt. He's been to 2 Super Bowls, lost one, but he won the other. Which he actually won his only Super Bowl against the Broncos. I just realized that right now. That was kind of funny. But basically, this is absolutely crazy. And this is the first time that the Broncos have been able to do something like this. You guys don't remember, they actually pulled off something with getting Peyton Manning, which is a Hall of Fame quarterback. So it's like they're able just to get these Hall of Fame quarterbacks. And it sucks was Russell Wilson ever going to go to the Denver, was he ever going to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers? Probably not, honestly. Like, I just don't see that thing happening. Like, I just don't see us getting that lucky. Oh, somehow landing Russell Wilson. We have to give up so much draft capital. And, like, would it really be worth it? Because it's like we don't have that great of an O-line. So it's like, then we need to, draft a whole new O-line. It's nothing against the O-line. I'm not trying to bash anyone or anything. But, no, it just sucks that now there's another quarterback like this in the AFC. So it's like, if the Steelers are going to the playoffs, okay, and getting to the playoffs is a whole other story. But just in the playoffs period, I mean, let's be honest here. This is absolutely insane, because you're going to have to go against, it's going to be gosh darn near impossible, the AFC. It's going to be insane, because they now have Russell Wilson, okay? And this is probably who you're going to be facing in the playoffs. I mean, the Denver Broncos are building a super team. There's talks about Von Miller possibly going back. I mean, he's been hinting at it possibly, so who knows? He might go back to the Denver Broncos. That would be absolutely insane. I mean, he leaves, wins a Super Bowl, and imagine he leaves the LA Rams to go back to the Broncos to go win another Super Bowl. That would be insane. But basically, I mean, in the playoffs, let's just be honest here. Every single year, if you want to make the playoffs, who are you going to be facing? Mac Jones, possibly, which he plays for the Patriots, pretty decent. Russell Wilson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I could just go on and Lamar Jackson. I could just go on and on and on and on and on. So it's literally going to be impossible to make it to the Super Bowl on the AFC side. I mean, you're going to have a very, very, very good team to be able to stop some of these guys, especially like looking at Patrick Mahomes. I mean, people even say this, and I agree. Every year that he doesn't make the Super Bowl, it just seems like another wasted year, literally, of his career. Patrick Mahomes not making the Super Bowl. So it's just going to be interesting to see all these teams compete. It's definitely going to make it a lot more interesting for the future from a fan's perspective, but I'm a Steelers fan, so I'm really not happy about this at all. I mean, if it really was just going to end out like this, I would just prefer that Russell Wilson just stayed on the Seahawks. So it was, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the playoffs next year. And I'm not trying to jump the gun or anything, but like that's who's going to be in the playoffs. Let's be honest. And if Lamar Jackson doesn't, get sick, or if he doesn't get injured, he might be in the playoffs too. So it's like you're playing all those people. And let's be honest, Justin Herbert, he's also in the AFC. So it's over 5 good quarterbacks. I mean, probably over 5 Hall of Fame quarterbacks that are in the AFC currently. So the AFC is absolutely stacked on quarterbacks. I did not expect this to happen personally. I don't think anyone expected this to happen. You can't tell me that you would have expected 2 hours after Aaron Rodgers signs with the Green Bay Packers that Russell Wilson was going to be like, okay, now it's like all of a sudden now they're getting traded. So oh goodness, it's hard. It is crazy. It is just hard to believe this. It's like, wow, it's confirmed, but it's one of those things like after it happens, it's like you're still like thinking to yourself, holy cow, did that just happen? But that is definitely going to go down in, I'm not going to say the biggest trade in NFL history, but one of the biggest trades in NFL history, definitely. And then I don't know how long it was after Russell Wilson got traded that all of a sudden the Seahawks are going absolutely insane, and they just released Bobby Wagner, which is probably a future Hall of Famer middle linebacker that they have, and I know he's pretty good. So it's like they released him. There's talks that he could possibly be going to the Steelers. The Steelers are building a super defense. Now we just need to worry about our offense at this point. I mean, I really like to put that cap space towards the offense, hopefully. I'd really like to do that. But I don't know. I mean, they released Bobby Wagner. It really just seems like the Seahawks are going into a rebuild. I mean, there's no other way of saying it, just other than they're going into a rebuild. That's really just what it seems like. I mean, I don't know if Pete Carroll's going to like that. Probably not. I would guess not. I mean, he doesn't seem like the guy that wants to go like, oh, let's rebuild. Let's go release everybody and just rebuild. He doesn't really seem like the person to want to do that. But let's get into the Russell Wilson trade details. So what did Denver really have to give up to get Russell Wilson? Not to mention, they have to still pay Russell Wilson, so they're going to be taking a cap hit. But I know they have a pretty good cap situation, so if I was a Broncos fan, I wouldn't be too concerned. If anything, I'd be celebrating right now if I was a Broncos fan, thinking, holy cow, we might actually be going to the Super Bowl next year. I mean, if you get Von Miller back on your team, I'm just saying, your team's absolutely stacked, and now you're getting a quarterback. So I'm just saying, Broncos fans, you had a 6-year gap, right, without Peyton Manning, without a franchise quarterback, without a Hall of Fame quarterback. But now you just got one 6 years later. I mean, 6 years is a long time to wait. It really is. But at the same time, now Russell Wilson, what? I mean, he's got another at least 5 years in him. 5 years in him. So you could have 5 years of possibly contending for the Super Bowl. We'll have to see how it all turns out. But basically, here's the trade details. Yesterday's trade, in which the Denver Broncos traded 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and Drew Lock, Noah Fant, and Shelby Harris Drew Lock is a quarterback. Noah Fant, he is a tight end. Shelby Harris is a defensive end to the Seahawks. For Russell Wilson, wow, so yeah, basically, so what they gave up was 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, Drew Lock, Noah Fant, and Shelby Harris. So basically, Seattle Seahawks got 3 players out of that, 2 first-round picks, and 2 second-round picks. It's definitely a high price to pay. Like, honestly, looking at it from both teams' perspectives, and you can't really say one or the other won the trade, because it's still those picks. I'm just personally saying those picks right now, we don't know. They could all be draft busts. They could all absolutely amount to nothing, all those picks. But then all of a sudden, who knows, they could amount to... Every single one of those picks could all of a sudden be a star. I'm just saying, every single one of them could be a star. You never know. But I thought I heard that they also traded a 4th round pick. I'm pretty sure Seahawks gave them a 4th round pick also. Yeah, so the Denver Broncos got 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders, and a 5th round draft pick. That's a lot of draft picks. And honestly, they could all turn out to be busts, or who knows, they could all turn out to be the next stars. I'm just saying, you don't know. So you can't really say one or the other won the trade. And let's be honest here, they gave up a lot of draft capital for it, but at the same time, like I said, they could be busts. You never know. Drew Lock, he never really amounted to anything. Noah Fant, I heard good things about him. Shelby Harris, don't know much about him personally. So, I don't know. What will the Seahawks do? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think they're going to roll with Drew Lock. Definitely not. So now, what's going to happen? Are they going to go for a quarterback in the draft? So now, they're Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett. Those are the 2 best quarterbacks in the draft. So are they going to go now shoot for one of them? That's now taking another quarterback out that the Steelers could possibly get. And at this point, I honestly feel like this next year, it's like, now it's just to the point where it's like, we're rolling with Mason Rudolph. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that's a good thing. But it really does seem like the Steelers are now going, okay, we're going to roll with Mason Rudolph and see where that goes for a year. I did hear a rumor that Mike Tomlin did not want to start any sort of rookies. So even if we did draft one of them, I don't know if they would really get any playing time. And honestly, I also want to know, like, how about Dwayne Haskins? Like, we never play him. And you know, I want to see, what does Dwayne Haskins have in him? Like, we've seen a lot of Mason Rudolph. We've seen a lot of what he can do. And from what I've seen, and this is just from what I've seen on those years, and I'm not going to tell you one way or another. I'm just going to say, I'm solely going to judge it off of the years that I've seen of Mason Rudolph. And honestly, he was average. He played very average. It's not like he played like a superstar or anything. It was just average. So it's either we're probably going to roll with him next year. Even if we did, say, drafted a rookie, they're a rookie, so I don't know if Mike Tomlin's going to start him or not. But let me check that real quick. Yes, so basically here's a claim here. Mike Tomlin said he doesn't want to start over with a rookie. So he does not want to start with a rookie again. He does not want to do that. I'm not sure. Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett, they show some promise. I mean, Kenny Pickett, the only issue he had was the hand sizing. That's something he can't prevent, let's be honest here. But I don't know. I'm interested to see how it all pans out. From a Steelers fan perspective, I'm really not too happy. Really not too happy, because let's say those first round picks, which I'm not sure if we know yet, but let's say those first round picks are for this year. So they're probably going to be gunning for a QB, maybe out of this draft. I mean, I would assume. I'm not too sure. I'm not the Seattle Seahawks. I can't say one way or another. But you can't really say one or the other won the trade. I mean, let's be honest here. Denver Broncos already have a loaded team, and they needed to go all out right now. They needed to go all out. Like the Steelers, we might be in that situation if we get a decent offense. We might actually need to go all out. Like the position the Denver Broncos were in. They went all out at the perfect time possible. I'll tell you what, they had a good player. They had a stacked team, defense, offense. They just needed a quarterback. Now all of a sudden you trade all that stuff away, right? But you get a quarterback. You get a Hall of Fame quarterback that's proven to be good. So that's really the missing piece of the puzzle for the Denver Broncos. Now if you're a Seattle Seahawks fan, you look at it like, well, we didn't do too good this past year with Russell Wilson. I know he had some hand injury, But, you know, you're looking at it like, oh, well, we didn't do too good last year with Russell Wilson, so, I mean, it's like, well, does it really make a difference? Like, we're gonna lose without him, we might be losing with him. I don't know. So, I mean, it's gonna be a nice change of scenery. If you're Russell Wilson, you'll probably be happy about that. Getting to go on a loaded team with a loaded roster. He is losing DK Metcalf, which was a pretty good receiver. But I don't know, you can't really say one or the other won the trade yet. We'll just have to see exactly what's going to happen and how it's all going to pan out. And I'm not too sure, but the next thing that happened was Wednesday, which is the day that I'm recording this, March 9th. And basically, I'm just thinking, okay, so who else is the Steelers going to miss out on today? What do you know? And I'm not saying I'm not going to say that this person I'm about to mention, I'm not going to say that I wanted them on our team, but that's just another person that we missed out on. I'm just going to just solely mention that. Carson Wentz today got traded to the Washington Commanders. Now, there was rumors that the Washington Commanders, they reached out apparently to every single team about possibly trading for a quarterback. So they're really going all out, trying to get a quarterback here. And I don't know, they're kind of in the position where they almost need to go all out too, because it's just like the Denver Broncos. You're in that position where you need to go all out, just like the Rams did. But going all out from a fan's perspective, it's a little scary, because it's like you're giving up all this stuff. It's like literally all out. That's what that means. You're going all out. So pretty much like you're just trading away all this stuff to get good veteran players on your team in hopes that you can possibly win a Super Bowl. So they got Carson Wentz, the Washington Commanders. Carson Wentz, from what I have heard, seen, he just seems to be overly aggressive, tries to make plays out of, he tries to make nothing to something. He tries to turn it into something, make a big play. We all like the enthusiasm, but not everything can be some huge big play. So from what I heard, he's a little careless with the football. So the Washington Commanders, I'm just going to be honest, it's probably going to be another disappointing year for them. I'm not sure. Maybe Wentz does develop. He did almost have an MVP season once. I think that's what people forget. But at this point, it's like, okay, what's going to happen now? Because it's like every single day it's seeming like there's going to be a new move. And I'm honestly, after I'm done filming this video, I wouldn't be shocked if now something happens with Jimmy Garoppolo. So the only option for the Steelers, and I've been saying this actually for months now, and I think I was even saying this when the Niners were in the playoffs, and I've been saying this for a while, the only option that's better than Mason at this point, unless you're going to hope and pray that hopefully Malik or Kenny, maybe they fall to you in the draft, maybe. So, I mean, it's either you tank for them, and a lot of Steelers fans at this point are saying we should just tank. We should just tank for a QB. We should just tank. And the Steelers aren't going to do it. We're not going to tank. But basically, a lot of people are, it's like, do we wait for a quarterback to fall to us? Let's hope and pray maybe that happens. I'm not sure. But with Jimmy Garoppolo, he's another one that might be going. This might be our last chance to get a veteran quarterback that's possibly going to be on the move. And it's Jimmy Garoppolo, the 49ers. And here's what I view it as. People say Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't that bad, and I'm actually a little bit of a Niners fan. I'm not going to lie. Definitely not more than, obviously, a Steelers fan, because, well, everything in this room is Steelers. I live, eat, and breathe Steelers, so I'm a Steelers fan. But I'm a little bit of a Niners fan. I mean, I got on the Niners kick when they made the Super Bowl. Very upset when they lost to the Chiefs. Just another reason for me not to like the Chiefs. But basically, what happened there was the Niners, there's been talks that they want to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo and stick with Trey Lance. But Trey Lance is a quarterback that they drafted. He's supposedly really good. Haven't watched him play at all, so I can't tell you personally. But Jimmy Garoppolo, from what I've seen, a lot of people say he's not that good, but at the same time, teams win with him. He made it to the NFC Championship, and you can't count last year. I don't want anyone to count last year, because from what I heard, that Niners team, everyone was injured last year. But the year before that, they made the Super Bowl. Okay, so 2020, make the Super Bowl. 2021, everyone's injured, so you're not really going to do anything. And this past season, they made it to the NFC Championship. So to me, you're winning with Jimmy Garoppolo. The Niners, they have a really good defense that kind of got them there. They have Deebo Samuel, great weapon on offense, which that might be a new thing with receivers. Do receivers turn into running backs like Deebo Samuel did? But that's a conversation for another video. But at this point, it's like, do we get Jimmy Garoppolo? I don't know. Do we make a trade for him? I don't know. He's the only like veteran quarterback left that's probably going to be going. I know there's a chart and everything with all the quarterbacks that could possibly be going, but I actually kind of expected Russell Wilson to stay on his team. Definitely wasn't expecting that too much. Like, that was like the biggest shock ever. Like, just in the matter of a day, like it just happened. But so a lot of interesting things happening in the NFL recently, and from a Steelers fan's perspective, you just feel very hopeless. Very hopeless. Very, very hopeless. And it's like, I don't want to waste, like, we have such a good defense, and they're coming to the end, like Cameron Hayward, for instance. Like, he's getting older. It's like, we're only all getting older at this point. So it's like, you don't want to waste too much of that defense. Like, TJ Watt, he's been on that team longer than people probably know. But, no, I think TJ Watt, he's probably got a lot of years ahead of him. Like I said, I think honestly this year, and everyone's like expecting us to make some sort of like play, but I did hear the Rooney family, the owners of the Steelers, I did hear they said that they were fine with the mobility on Mason, and that was a big thing for the Steelers, that they wanted a quarterback that was mobile and could throw, and I don't blame them, honestly. I mean, and I even said that in a prior video, that's the standard for quarterbacks these days. You want to be able to run it and throw it, which Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis can both do that. So it's either we just stick with Mason Rudolph, or we go for Kenny or Malik, or you go for Jimmy Garoppolo. So there's still options out there, but there's some Steelers fans that are already jumping and saying that, oh, we just need to tank, and I really don't want to see that. I really, really, really don't want to see that. In my lifetime, the Steelers have not had one losing season, and I'm not ready to go watch them tank on live television. I'm really not ready to see that. I'll be very upset if they do start tanking. It'll be sad to see. Really hope they don't do that. Let's just hope they don't tank. Let's just hope they don't purposely tank. I really hope. I don't know. I think with Mason in there, I'm not too concerned. I think we'll be average, honestly. I don't think we'll be good. I think we'll be average. Unless he does somehow break out. Dwayne Haskins, we haven't used him much. Like I said, we need to utilize him. James Washington, I think he's a weapon that simply people just don't utilize. Like, I like him too. Like, I think he's a pretty good receiver. Every time I've seen him in, I don't really see mistakes from him. So I think we need to utilize him, and I think we will utilize him if Mason Rudolph's in, because they went to the same college, so they have that college connection. I mean, the two best quarterbacks that were possibly going to be on the move this year, they both just found their homes. So it's now Jimmy G, Mason Rudolph, Dwayne Haskins, Malik Willis, or Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett and Malik Willis both have that mobility that the Steelers have been wanting. So we'll have to see what they do, guys, and I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys have any further comments on this video, comment it down below. What do you think the Steelers are going to do? Do you hope the Steelers just tank for a quarterback or whatever? I really hope we don't do that, but I've heard people that have said that we should do that. But overall, guys, hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.